Welcome back. State Track Meet Week in North and South Dakota has arrived, and we are ready for it here at MST. We'll have extended previews of what's set to take place in both Bismarck and the Black Hills in the days ahead. But before we get there, we need to look back at what happened on the track this past weekend. So with the details, here's our Alex Heinert.
Thanks, Kelly. Yes, as excited as we are for State Track this Friday and Saturday, we would be remiss to not discuss the events of some great region championships across North Dakota from this past week, starting with the WDA West Region meet in Bismarck. Originally scheduled for Friday, it proved to be the right call by the WDA to slide this meet back a day, as instead of rain, we had great conditions all afternoon at the Community Bowl, and the athletes responded. For example, Century's Levi Rockey has been impressing all year long in the throws, and that trend continued on Saturday. He goes 57-11.5 for a new PR in the shot put. That's the best shot throw in North Dakota this year, by the way. And then he wins the discus with a routine toss of 176.4. He will be a big favorite to repeat as a state champ in both events. Another senior who could win multiple state titles this week, Bismarck's Dane Allen. The man with springs in his legs would win the high jump over Legacy's Austin Wolf with a new PR of 6'8", and then he'd go on to win the triple as well. He'll have stout competition in all three jumping events, but few have got the ceiling of the Demon Senior. Allen and Rockey were just two of a number of double winners at the Bowl on Saturday. On the track, Minot's Alli McCoy cemented her spot as the top girls sprinter in the West with a 100-200 double, while Jamestown freshman Meghan Ford continued to put the state on notice with big wins in the 800 and the 1600. She'll be one of the favorites in all three of those distance events at state this week. Speaking of distance favorites, Legacy's Bo Brandon is the one to beat in the boys 800, though Century's Mitch Honeyman pushed the Howard Woods Special 8 champ to the limit on Saturday. Brandon gets the nod by 17/100ths over the Patriot Junior this time around. He'd also win the mile going away in the third best time in Class A this season. In the boys' sprints, we told you last week that Mandan's Chris Keister and Legacy's Caleb Larson would give us a few fireworks at the West Region, and they delivered. Each goes sub-11 in the 100, with Keister just getting the edge over Larson by 1/100th of a second. Don't feel bad for the Sabre freshman, though. Larson would come back with a 21.94 to win the 200 after a platinum effort of 49.34 to take the 400. And then just for good measure, he'd also win the long jump as well. Again, Caleb Larson, just a freshman. Larson's big day was tough to top, but Bismarck's Blythe Trout found a way to eclipse it. In her final WDA championships, the Demon Senior would win the high jump, the long jump, the triple jump, and the pole vault. A perfect 4 for 4 in the field for Blythe. Well done to the North Dakota State commits. In the team battle, all of the honors would go to Bismarck Century once again. The Patriot girls would sweep the relays en route to a 12.5-point margin of victory over Minot, while the Century boys' depth would just prove too much for their in-city rivals. They take the title by nearly 35 points over Bismarck High and Legacy. The day before the West Region meet, the EDC held the East Region Championships in Fargo, with the Davies girls and West Fargo boys taking home top honors in the team races. On the individual side of things, 5 different athletes won multiple titles, though no one had a better day than Fargo North's Alex Luz, who swept all 3 distance events. He's now ranked first in Class A in the mile and third in the 800, entering the state meet. Other big individual efforts included Grand Forks Central's Michaela Weiss, who put up the top 800 time in the state on Friday, just as reigning 300-meter hurdle state champ Sally Corgo of Davies did the same in her signature events. The 2 Class A region meets were great, but it wasn't all about the big schools in North Dakota this past weekend. Every Class B program was in action as well, and there were a number of eye-popping performances that you need to hear about. No platinum marks on this list, but a number came awfully close, including Grace Zimmerman of Hazen in the 400, that 58.62 that top mark in all of North Dakota, as is the 11.3 pole vault clearance from Maria Blessum of Rugby, last year's state runner-up in that event. Also coming close to platinum status was UND football recruit Noah Sickler in the 400 and his Dickinson Trinity teammate Caden Kuntz in the long jump. Both of those efforts rank first in Class B and second overall in the state, as does the 57.8 shot put mark from Northern Lights' Dawson Schroeder and the 46.10 triple jump from Milner Winemere Lidgerwood's Luke Forch. Again, just because you're in Class B does not mean you can't hang with the best. Well, with regions now in the books for both Dakotas, that means all we have left in the 2018 high school track and field season is state, and it will be here before we know it. The countdown is certainly on, just 4 days away, so keep it tuned to MST all week as we get you ready for Track Nation's favorite weekends.
Can't wait. Thank you so much, Alex. When we come back, it is on to the dirt track. We'll have your weekend Midco Motorsports recap when Midco Sports Tonight returns.
Midco Sports Tonight, presented by Avera Orthopedics.